super important announcement. We have live now BeReal hunt giveaway. You can come hunt with me. One lucky winner is going to win a fully paid hunt to Kentucky, filmed. That's gonna go on the YouTube channel. A brand new Mathews bow built by me, some UltraView goodies, and some HuntWise goodies. So HuntWise and I teamed up. They're gonna help out with this hunt. I've been having this idea. I wanted to do this big hunt giveaway, and HuntWise is like, say no more. So now until September 24th, how to enter is every order on BeReal merch, up to 10 orders, get you 10 entries to win. Or download the HuntWise app, use code BeReal for 25% off, and that'll get you entered to win. Terms and conditions apply. Rules are down below. Make sure to check them out. Link in description. All right, guys, today we're gonna be talking about button releases. How do you shoot a button release? What a button release is, when you should use it. A lot of questions since the new UltraView button came out. A lot of questions like, why do you shoot a button release? How do you shoot a button release? So we're gonna go over all that today. We're in the yard shooting. Just got back from Antelope, so we broke in the bow for the 22 season. So what is a button release? A button release is a release aid device for shooting archery, of course, but it uses a trigger system, and it's a handheld one. Obviously you have index triggers that also are a trigger release that use an actual lever to fire, but this one you use your thumb. So you have a cocking device, which on the UV button it's this one right in the back, and then you use this thumb barrel and you apply pressure and it goes off. There's a lot of buttons out in the world. They all have a little bit different way to do it, but that essentially is how they all work. There's some sort of lever and then a thumb barrel to push down on. Now, a thumb button, it seems like it's the first handheld release that a lot of people get. You know, you start out with a trigger index finger as kind of like a beginner. I know you could run with that your entire archery career, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You can have good form, good shots, shoot really well with an index trigger. But when people want to move away from that, they typically pick up a thumb button release, and that is because it's still pretty easy to shoot. It's not scary like a hinge release where you don't really know what's going on. It's still some sort of button, some sort of lever that you have to push to make it fire. We're gonna go over a quick technique on how you should properly shoot a button. Now, it's famous that button releases that you just hammer it. You just punch it, you get on the target, and you just wind up and you bam. Well, sure, you can do that. Over time, you may develop some sort of target panic, buck fever. You're creating this angst and anxiety over the shot, and exactly, and as soon as you hover over the middle, you just punch it. A lot of people experience that. It's totally normal, but there's a way to recover from that, and there's also a way to avoid that from the beginning, and that's by doing it right from the get-go. So with any release, this goes with trigger, hinge, button. It's always good to always focus on form. Whenever you get something new, always start out at a super close target. Practice on form, practice the actual mechanisms of the release, how to do it properly before jumping to a target and worrying about where your groups are. All right, so the button specifically, this is kind of buttons in general, but I'm gonna talk about why the UV button makes it a little bit easier with this thumb barrel specifically. So as you can see, this thumb barrel is kind of like no one's ever done before with the spiraling. So this is actually really aggressive. It's not sharp, but I mean, it grabs. It just grabs your thumb. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to lay the release right in the normal natural beds of your fingers. You want a very straight backhand. You don't want to have knuckles, and you don't want to be so far out that they're on your fingertips. You want them right in the beds of your fingers. Nice relax, your pinkies relax. Obviously your thumb can be somewhat relaxed, but you're gonna have to, you know, use it to make the bow go off. So after you have them very nice relaxed in your thumb beds, you draw back. What you're gonna do is you're gonna rotate your thumb around to the barrel. It should be sitting pretty deep on the barrel. You don't wanna be barely touching on the tip, because then all you're doing is have to apply straight pressure to make it go off. But by putting deep into your thumb, what that allows you to do is when you're at full draw, you're looking through the peep sight, you're on the target, all you have to do is pull. You just pull, relax your hand, and boom, it goes off. And you're supposed to do that kind of with every button release. It's supposed to be a push and pull, a relaxation of the back hand. As you pull, it kind of bunches up your thumb, it drags against it slightly and grabs, and boom, it goes off naturally. So what's good about the spiraling on this thumb barrel though, is it grabs your thumb. Some are really slick, they have really small knurling. It doesn't really grab, so you have to apply more pressure. With this though, it's been freaking awesome shooting it, allowing your thumb just to relax, push and pull, push and pull, push and pull, and boom, it goes off like natural. So that's kind of the basics of how to shoot a button, and specifically the UV button. You don't want to, I mean, you know, guys do it. You know, some famous target archery guys love to punch it. Douglas will talk about it openly. Some other guys, you know, they're just another level of mental strength, I guess. But proper technique is super important. You can develop target panic really easily. You can fall in bad ruts, have to take time and practice to get out of it. So it would be better just to start off on the right foot, I guess. We're gonna draw back here. Actually, we do have our mini targets set up. Show them, Riley. Big shout out to the Bow Rack. When we were out there for dealer tour, they had all of them in stock, and I was like, I need them. So they shipped them out here. Shout out to the Bow Rack. Thanks for the hookup. All right, so here we go. We draw back, hands nice and relaxed in your finger bed. Get on the target. We're gonna wrap around to our thumb, get it nice and deep like in there, and then we're just gonna push and pull. Push and pull, and it just goes off like normal. So a hinge release, there's more of a rotation involved. There's a relaxation and a rotation, because a hinge, there's two ledges and you're rotating until they fall off. A button, I mean, you can keep the same technique of that rotation and you're pushing and pulling, but you don't necessarily need a pushing and pulling, because you're just dragging across this thumb barrel, pushing and pulling with your back end, and then boom, just goes off. Should be subtle, should be no quick movements. And the thing about all releases is they should be about the same technique. If you shoot a trigger index style, you want a deep finger in the trigger index, pushing and pulling, pushing and boom, then it goes off. No different with a button, no different than a hinge, other than there's a little bit of rotation in the hinge. You're supposed to shoot the bow the same no matter what you shoot. You should be able to shoot it well no matter what you shoot. It's all about technique, it's all about form. It's just about, are you doing it correctly or not? And it's really important that you do. So we're gonna shoot a few, just cause it's fun and I wanna shoot bow a little bit. That elk's at 64. I will note too, shooting this a little bit, this was a new one I just grabbed. What's important about making sure that the thumb barrel is deep into your thumb, you don't want it way out on your tip, is the adjustability of button releases. So you want to make sure that it's customized to your hand, your feel. So what I just did, I swung the barrel out and down a little bit so that it's more where my natural hand placement is. I don't have to reach for it up here. I can keep my hand nice and relaxed and out. So see how that feels now. That was better. So I literally don't have to move my hand at all. I just swing my thumb down, add a little pressure, push and pull, relax, and boom, it goes off. Ooh, that was an arrow. Nice. Well, I hope that helped explain how to shoot a thumb button correctly, and more specifically, the UV button. If you're interested in the UV button, you can check them out now on BeRealMerch.com or UltraViewArchery.com. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down below. We'll try to answer a few of them. And make sure to subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.